Look at that beautiful Singer vintage sewing machine. Just begging to be restored. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hopefully do a series of videos, kind of a step-by-step how I go about restoring a machine. And I had requests for that. And I thought about years ago when I started working on them, resources were not available like the way they are today. And I could have really used a little bit of guidance on how to go about it and so forth. So that's what I hope to share in a series of videos, and it's just my way. It may not be your way or anybody else's, but I thought I'd start with the tools that I've accumulated. So of course I have plenty of screwdrivers I've picked up, different lengths, different sizes, short, long, small, medium. I had a couple occasions to use an offset screwdriver, so I picked one up. My little Singer tension screwdriver for the little tiny screws. You could use a jeweler screw or whatever. Allen wrenches. There are set screws on a lot of the machines. I don't think I've ever used these bigger ones, but especially the small and medium ones I've needed. I did pick up a feeler gauge that's got different metal spacing, so especially around the bobbin area and cushion springs and some of the gapping that you have to set after you take it apart and put it back together. So that gets a lot of use. A couple pairs of needle nose pliers, wire cutters. This mallet I've had to use to loosen some of the built-in motors and some stuck parts. Not too often, but I didn't want to hit it with anything too hard, so I picked a mallet up for $1. Some of my favorite little brushes here for brushing. This is a softer, these are stiffer bristle brushes, and when you remove some of these things and there's spacing from the inside to out, it's really nice to be able to put a little cleaner on there and go in and clean it like you would a baby bottle or a gun bore or something like that. 99-cent store. I have used a couple blades off my old knife here in the past. Sometimes I've had a screw or a set screw that's just so full of 50 years of gunk I couldn't even get a Allen wrench or a screwdriver in there, so I've taken the awl and cleaned it out, or taken the small knife blade on this and scraped it out just so that I could get a tool in there to remove it. Safety glasses. Using those bigger tools, or my Dremel or chemical spray. A couple pairs of good scissors. Adjustable plier. Sometimes there's some bigger nuts and bolts that stuck on there pretty good, so I've had to use that a few times. If I've had to replace wiring, I finally got a wire stripper tool because of the gauges and everything. It's really a lot more accurate. And of course, then I have had to use wire nuts and crimps to put stuff back together. That's what that is. That's my Dremel, which I finally broke down and bought. Little grinding cones, or a lot. I use this wire brush a lot to polish a lot of metal parts and get in on some of the bigger cranks to get any discoloration or rust. Like this one, it adjusts. And I use it for other stuff around the house, but it's been pretty valuable. My headlamp, adjustable headlamp. It's just got a little, I can set it up here, a little on-off button on the top, and it can adjust the light pattern, and it tilts. And then in the back, it's got like a power rheostat from dim to bright. Really useful for me to get working inside the machine sometime. It's just really hard for me to see, confined space, hard to get light in there from another source. So that's worked real good. Old toothbrushes. Buy these little 5-packs of Dental Proxa brushes at the dollar store. Real good for getting in little tight places. Dip them in cleaner, alcohol, and clean oil ports out and stuff. I buy inexpensive artist brushes and cut them down. I use these a lot for oiling and greasing the machine. Wooden toothpicks and barbecue skewers, and again, just bought at the dollar store. But to be able to get into tight places and clean, or after I wax a machine, I might have to go around and dig the wax out of places, you know, to clean it out. So I have a few of those around. The famous Q-tips, I buy them in bags of 1,000 at the dollar store. And I use some latex gloves, a few. A lot of times I'll just use these disposable ones because I'm just taking off something really greasy and cruddy. So I'll kind of use them until they rip or tear. And if I'm really doing a lot of it, I'll just go ahead and use a latex glove till it wears out. And before, when I started and I'd start taking parts off of these machines, I'd put them in a little Dixie cup or plastic cup, you know, or a drink cup, and it worked pretty good. I could write on the cup, you know, where they came from if I thought I'd forget. And then one time the table was bumped into real hard and some of the cups went flying, and I had a heck of a time sorting everything out. I never did find one of the little screws. So after that, I just went to you know, Ziploc type bags where I can just take the part, put it in there, seal it. I'm good. I can see what's in there. If it's a part I'm not, you know, I may not remember from the machine, I'll just take a little piece of paper and write what it's for. And the little tiny stuff associated with it, I might put in one of these. I got these like 50 for $1. And you can see I've written and crossed out what's in there. But the little tiny screws and springs and stuff, sometimes I'll put in there first and then put it in with the parts so that they don't get lost. So that's kind of what I've accumulated over the years of doing this. And I'm sure a lot of people do it with a lot less tools, and maybe some with more. I don't know. If there's any tool I would love to have, it's like a parts cleaner that they use at the auto shops, but those are way out of my price reach. So this is what I've come up with. The other thing is a chunk of 2x4 that I'll use to prop up the machine front or back or sides if I'm wanting to get in there and work on it and adjust or clean, it just can give me a better angle to put an edge, you know, prop it up and put it like this, or turn it on its back, put it like that. If you start tearing these down, you'll know what I mean. And that was actually free. I was laying on the floor at Home Depot, and I asked the guy, he said, take it. But this is a small workbench in a small corner of a small room. That's what I got to work with. And underneath here is a old sewing cabinet, table type, and this is just a piece of kind of like masonite siding, 2x4. So it holds up pretty good. I just replaced this about a year ago after 10 years and stuff. So that's my tools and stuff. And let me clear all these off and